On this week's Right Now, what was life like on Epstein Island? We talked to Epstein survivor Juliette Bryant. It's an emotional interview. Also on the show, Katherine MacBean tells us about the People's Health Alliance and its goal to put health in the hands of the people, not big pharma. Diny and Rachel from the Vax Control Group are back with an update on their 30-year research project. And international footballer Joshua Parker describes what life's been like for him since he parted ways with his club after speaking out against global events on his social media.
Because I never spoke about what happened until fairly recently, like a lot of memories came flooding back, and I'm trying to actually keep all the memories in a place. I've got a friend who's actually wanting to write a book at the moment, and she's been amazing with helping me to remember a lot and also to document it all.
Of course.
But I mean, the island was just so beautiful and amazing, but also at the same time, it was just such a horrible place because of being trapped there.
We wanted to create something that would encompass everybody and help fill those gaps that are created currently at a primary care level where people can't get an appointment with the GP. Or certainly some people just really don't want to. Actually, they've sadly lost trust in the NHS at the moment and are looking for an alternative way to approach health. So that's where it first started.
Initially, there was so much suspicion about who on earth were we, what are we doing, scammers and all that kind of rubbish. But actually, as time's gone on, and we have had so many Zoom calls with people, with doctors, with scientists who've actually reached out and said, look, I want to know what you're about. What are you doing? We spent 3 hours at a time talking to these people, and they know what we're doing and they're trying to help us do it really well, because we're not doctors or scientists. So we've got a lot of them on board now. They're not officially on board, but they're talking to us, they're helping us. And in fact, we're going to be at the World Conference for Health Better Way conference, just having a stand there. But, so people know who we are now, and they know that what we're doing is legitimate, and we are just trying to do the absolute best study we can.
I don't have a single regret. Friends and family might not see it different, but they'll be like, oh, you could have just stayed quiet. And like I said, if there's something to be said, and it's I believe for the benefit of people or a group of people or a wider spread audience, then I think you have to speak on it. Otherwise, you're always acting in fear, and this is what the whole system's set up upon, which is preying on people's fear and implementing the fear in the first place. So for me, I'm comfortable with whatever they were going to say, whatever threats they made, because I know who I am and I know my intentions are pure and my heart's pure.
Gold standard for any medical research is that you must have a control group for a comparative with the person that's taking the experimental thing. And we all know this is an experiment, so they should have done it. And from what we know, they vaccinated them early on. So there hasn't been one until us and other studies like us. So
she was there a lot. I didn't actually have a huge amount to do with her because I was frightened of her. Because also I did a bit of research about her family, and that's also what made me even more scared of Epstein. I always thought that she and Sarah Kellen were actually lesbians because they used to spend a lot of time together. But she was always there, and she was definitely running the houses and running the staff, and the staff were very scared of them. They wouldn't even really look them in the eye. The staff were very uncomfortable when they used to see Epstein or Maxwell.
It was 10 days ago that we launched, roughly. I think it's 10 days ago. And because of the injection of energy and passion and enthusiasm that every single volunteer in this organisation has, that just venerates out. That just has a ripple effect. People see the passion that we have, and they feel the energy, and they know that they've got the power to do this. They've got the power to achieve this for their community. It's not only that it's empowering, but it's also very realistic that it's essential that we do this. We're watching the collapse of what we knew to be the NHS. I think it's becoming a different entity in its own right now, very much thanks to other nefarious groups. But, people are passionate now about this. They see the need. We see this isn't going to suddenly improve on its own. And actually, it's down to we the people. We have nobody else we can rely on.
I posted about it on my social media saying never in the history of football has as many people that in the last 2 years has fallen ill or had heart attacks or had whatever may happen post-vaccine. It's never happened in the history of football. More people in the last 2-3 years have fallen down in sports than probably the last 200 years. So I don't need to argue that point because the evidence is there and it does it for me.
We speak to people from every single country all over the world every week, and we hear their stories, and it's hell in some places. And
in Western Australia, for example, we just heard this week that they've mandated a 4th shot for anybody over the age of 65. So it might feel like it's kind of settling in some places, but in others it's just the same, and it's carrying on.
If not worse, it's getting worse in some places.